really happy to be back and finally sharing a first completed island tour. If you're new here, this island has been with me since the start of Old Krispy Kreme, so it feels kind of bittersweet to say it's finished. I learned a lot about my decorating styles along the way, and I'm excited to walk through the island with you. Now, as a quick refresher, the overall theme for this island is kids core. The idea was to bring a child's storybook to life, set in a sunny rainforest. I pulled a lot of inspiration from one of my favorite childhood shows, Dora the Explorer. I did slightly overestimate how hard it would be to stay consistent with alphabetical villagers and matching the letters up with their species, but we'll get into that as we go. Alright, so here we are right in front of the entrance, in front of the airport. I originally started the A at the top of the map because visually it looked better that way. But, it makes more sense to start down here at the airport because, it also starts with an A. But the airport isn't the only A in this area. Over on the left hand side, we have the Able Sisters, which I'm using as an apparel shop. And then on the right, we have Annabelle the Anteater's Antique Shop. I'll be honest, I wasn't really a fan of Annabelle, and she definitely overstayed her welcome. But looking back, I probably could have turned her plot into an extension of the Able Sisters since she had the fashion hobby. Anyways, moving on to the next letter. This bookstore was actually made for Beardo, as you can see, but because I was inviting villagers alphabetically, Bertha ended up being a placeholder, and now they share this space, which works out since they both share the education hobby and share similar blue coloring. And for our C, we have the campsite and Chester. I felt like it was the most fitting since he's a lazy type, and I like that this area is kind of his own personal campsite, so that way when he has visitors, you can camp alongside with Chester. So, yeah. And for our first And for our D plot, we have Diana, who is a deer as well as a director. And over here is her drama stage. So I mean, I don't really know if you would consider this like starts with a D, but since she is a director, I gave her a stage um so she can perform one. This was pretty fun to make. It wasn't the most, I couldn't line it up as much as I would like to, but I do like how this turned out. And yeah. And then we have Ellie with her, I forgot what it was called. Forgot how to pronounce it. But basically, it's a exhibit, but for bugs. So I could just say it's Ellie's exhibit, but there was a name in a previous video that I had, but I forgot the name of it. But yeah. Okay, now we're moving on to F, which is I think Frobert. Yes, Frobert's farm, and um a lot of these inspirations for these builds came from Pinterest. So I would leave if I can find the pictures and stuff, I will put it in my bio if anybody's interested in recreating these builds on their own islands. But for the most part, some of them has been um my own take on some of the builds. For example, Gruff's Garage. This was something I found from a real life photo. It could be an AI, but I'm not sure. But a real life photo that I took and used as inspiration to make his garage. And back here is his garage band. And yeah, I just like how this turned out. This also feels very cozy, and yeah, I like how they turned out. And then now we're going up to another row, um, towards H. This is, I mean, it's covered, but this is Hamlin's hockey field. So, since he has the play hobby, it made sense. I don't have a puck in the middle. I wish I did. Could have find something that you could have, play back and forth with. Um, and this is my, this is the area that I forgot to finish covering up, but it's fine. It's fine. It's like a natural scape. And then over here is actually my most favorite build. Um, is Igley Igly's Igloo. So it's also his ice cream shop. I actually got the idea for this iceberg or igloo from a YouTube video from, I believe it's Infinity Crossing. I can also link her video, but I believe she got um her idea from another creator, but she's the only person I could reference for this. But I will also link her video in the description if you want to recreate it yourself. But I do like how this turned out. And moving on to Jay, he is going to be our jockey. So these are his horses in the stable. Um, and I also forgot to give this horse apple. I keep forgetting to do that. But yeah, there's not really a much to do here because I wanted this area to kind of feel like a training ground and stuff. But I didn't have any fences to lay out because I wanted this area to feel very spacious. And this is the boards that you can keep track of, scores, and whatnot. And then over here in the plaza, um, we have Socks visiting us today. His name's Socks, right? Kicks. Okay. I don't know why I thought his name was Socks. But yeah, we have Kicks visiting us. I actually got this backpack that I'm wearing from him, which is the traveler's backpack, because it looks like the map, so very, very Dora coded. You can go over here and go up the hill and get like a quick glimpse on the other side. But it's not necessarily like you don't have to come up here. It's only if it's like the plaza's really crowded, like if KK Slider is visiting and the crowded the plaza is very crowded. So you just different ways to get over here. And then we come back down here, and then we have K, which is Kit's, I believe, Kit's knitting. Yeah, her knitting corner, her house and stuff with custom knits and yarn, and for her and her child basically. And she can work out here. So, and yeah, I kind of like this area. I felt like I feel like if it could have been a little bit more homey, besides the missing walls in the corner, but I like how it turned out. And then we have over here is L, which is, I think this is Leopold. I think this is Leopold, I believe, and this is his lecture hall. So he's like a teacher, but since he does have the education hobby as well, so yeah, so it's just kind of like something to put here. I would had made seats um turned the other way, but it just looks like. But yeah, then that's it. And then moving on to M, which is Monty's, and he is our mailman, and this is his poster shop. I do like how this area also came out. It's really cute. I like how postal it looks with the filing cabinets and the boxes. This area was really fun to put together. I used a lot of my ideas in happy home for, to test out how I wanted to lay out the areas. I don't know if got this from a Pinterest idea or not. I think no, I didn't get this from a Pinterest idea, but I did use a lot of postal inspirations for that. Okay, I was just checking to see if I had anything, and then also we have the museum right next to it, which the more that I'm thinking about it, I could have made Monty a part of the museum as like working with Blathers or something, but to each their own. And then we come up here and we have the Nook's Cranny as well as Norma's like nature nursery section. So, this is when I started coming up with having the other buildings and making them connections to whatever letter corresponding next to them where I could have made the extension of it. But yeah, I like the idea that Norma is is working with Timmy and Tommy, and then you come out here to get something, and her green boxes, or come out here and get some flowers, or just to come out here and participate in the garden and whatnot. But I do like this area. This area came out really cute. And yeah. And then over here we have is O, which is Octavian, and he had the a play hobby, but he's also cranky. So it made sense to make him a police officer. So this is what I have. So he is the officer of this little jail, this jail yard, and whatnot. And you gotta have the donuts and the coffee next door. But yeah, this idea came from like a older um Animal Crossing model build or something. I don't know what game it's from, but I got the layout from that. And over here, I covered this in my last video, I think, which was, or my other video, which was Peggy's photography studio. So on the outside, it's just kind of like something to take outdoor photos in, and then inside is the actual photo shoot that you take in. But if you wanted to see the inside of that building, go ahead and check out that video. I'll leave a link above the video that you might see somewhere in the corner. So keep an eye out on that. And then over here we have is Queenie, and it only made sense to make her the queen. So I made her a castle, which was actually pretty fun to do. It took up a lot of space that, a lot of them, the wall in the castle kind of like leaked over. Well, not this side, but this side, which kind of worked out. But over here for Ruby is going to be our like ranger, like sorry, our park ranger. And yeah, so I just wanted this area to feel like more of like a nature walk, like a like a you can hike here, take a break or something. But inside it feels more like a lobby for like a reception lobby if you need help for anything. Excuse me with this recording. My voice has still haven't recovered fully. And then over here we have Sylvania. I think that's how you say your name. Sylvania's she. Ooh, I'm gonna have a tongue twister. Sylvania's shell shop. So I got the idea from Sally Sells. She sells by the seashore. So inside, we could take a quick trip since she's inside. So oh, she's cooking. So she just took this whole extra area and made herself a stove. That's fine. But yeah, inside she has her seashells. I kind of wanted to go for kind of like a shell city from SpongeBob, kind of, a kind of reference to that. So I got the stars to represent Patrick, and I don't have anything to represent SpongeBob, but But yeah, but you got the shells here, and you got some sand on the ground, and then you got the ocean in the background, like the horizon to kind of match the the water in the backyard, and yeah, that was cute. All right, and we have Tybalt outside, and this is his table tennis. I will say table tennis tournament. Ooh, I should probably mute my phone. But yeah, this is his table tennis tournament, and inside is just more table tennises, but like it has like a trophy set and like some motivational um, posters from like other jocks and stuff in there. But yeah, it's just very simple, and yeah, just very jock like. And then we come back up here um, to Ursula, and inside she sell ukuleles. So I wanted something more Hawaii kind of, oceany feel. So then we have our hammock out here. She can come over here and sit. And then inside she also has KK sliders, Aloha radios as you're selling. Over here, I'm gonna have to admit this is my least put together section. It's Violet, so she has volleyballs. So you come and get a good set in over here. Over here is some changing rooms for like a boy and a girl. So you can get in your athletic wear and have a good time. Inside is also like an indoor volleyball section, so there's not really much inside either. Um, as for Wolfgame's, he is our writer, but he is also our tutor. So outside you have Scribble. So he kind of teach you how to have good penmanship and help you with like simple like world languages and just it's just something like literary, and it makes sense to make his area very fancy because that's just the vibe that I get from Wolfgang, that he's very like elegant kind of, and his house stayed the same. I didn't have to change it, but inside is also just pretty cute, pretty simple, like kind of like another tutoring section. And we come up here, it's just like a nice simple trail. I didn't want to add too much. Oh, there's Yuka. A simple trail, and I didn't want to add too much. And then here's my house. I would show inside. It's not 100% finished, but I just wanted to at least make it not as empty as it was. So we can take a quick look in there. So I wanted to try to take inspiration from Dora's actual layout in her house, but I realized that I wasn't probably going to be able to do that. But it has the like inside her house, she has like green walls and orange or like yellowy floors, and then she has like purple and maybe bluish furniture. Over here would be like um a archway bookshelf, and then this area would probably be blocked off, and it would be like a computer right here, and I think over here would be leading towards the kitchen. But because I'm not going to do the whole house, I'm not decorating the whole house, so I block that area off. And inside, back in the back room, is is my little layout room as before, but I just changed the walls to make it feel more jungly, to fit the explorer adventurer aesthetics, which is a Xaviera, which is her name by the way, for those who didn't know. I was going to change out the floors, but I kind of like that. I kind of like the irony of the giraffe print, so I was gonna keep it even though it doesn't really match. But but yeah, that's inside the house. So I could I could add more stuff to it down the line, but I choose not to. I don't wanna. All right, and moving on to Yuka's house. So for Yuka, she is a koala, but that doesn't mean that she can't sell yuccas. So yuccas is kind of like a short for eucalyptus. And I kind of like that, koalas aren't the smartest because, they have very small brains. So I kind of like the idea that yucca is not really um, that smart because she can't, I mean, she probably can't tell the difference, like yucca is short for eucalyptus. So these pictures are supposed to represent eucalyptus, but yeah, but it's kind of like that. It's not like another garden section, but she's just selling yuccas specifically. That's all she's selling here. And inside is just more yuccas, and inside is like she's growing them, and she has her own like shed. So that's why inside her outside kind of looks like a shed. So, but yeah, and then over here, lastly, not for least, we have Zell, which is can you guess what it is? It's Zen guarding. So, but yeah, I made sure to extend it further because his plot starts right here, but I wanted to connect it because we have all extra space right here. So I kind of made like another little, kind of like a mini shrine right here. We can try to hang out at, and just relax and whatnot. And since he is home, we can look inside his house real quick, which is basically just like a tea room, which is like an indoor yeah. So like I kind of wanted like the mats to look like a continuation of sand without it actually being sand, and you got the deer scare to keep that the water elements. But yeah, you can just come in here and relax, listen to the deer scare, you drink some tea. I thought it was a good idea to make the pattern match his zebra print to to just to see the connection, that he is a zebra representing Z. But yeah, that was all the homes. But yeah, that was all the homes, and that was all the plots. Some areas aren't all that um filled out, but yeah, I just wanted to make sure that when I was finished, I had at least something to show because a lot of these areas wasn't finished at first. I did record it last week, but I didn't like how that turned out. I also tried to make sure that this recording came out really good, but halfway into it, I kind of gave up on following a script. That's why it was so put together in the beginning. But it's getting late. It's 7 o'clock here, and I'm actually have other things that I need to be doing for tonight. Um, and yeah, but I just wanted to just say that the island is done. We could just do a quick run through and go back to the beginning. By the end of this, I would drop the DA in the description as well because as of right now, I don't have it. I don't have one yet, but I was going to do that when I was officially done with the tour. And yeah, let me know which plot was your favorite. And feel free to leave your opinions in the comments. I'm looking forward to starting a new island with you all. And for, I would say tomorrow, yeah, I would say either tomorrow or either next week, Saturday, I would post another video. On another island, and we can use that island as a base prep to prep our next island. But I'm not going to start on it yet. I'm just going to use it as a place to still talk and you know converse with you all. But yeah, it was so fun creating this island, and I'm so glad that I'm still continuing this channel because I really didn't think that I would make it this far. So it was really just a test to see if I could keep up with this. And even though I'm still not consistent, I'm trying, I'm getting there, but I'm really looking forward to getting faster and at finishing videos and completing islands and stuff so I can have a nice little collage of islands to show for it. Hope you all had a good holiday and I hope you all have a sweet day.